Yes, hello, everyone. Good afternoon to you all, wherever you are joining in from. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are watching us live today. It's another day, and we are grateful to God for today, for taking good care of us. We are grateful to God. And today, too, is another, we were supposed to actually bring this session yesterday, but we had quite, a few challenges that we needed to take care of. So we decided to, by all means, have it today. So that is why we are here today. And today, I welcome you all. If you are joining in from wherever you are joining in from, I welcome you. And please let me know in the comment section if you can hear me, if you can see me, so that I will know that I can be heard. Let me check from my other device. Okay. Okay, I think it is clear. It is clear. It is clear. I think I can be heard. Okay, so today we are going to talk about why you keep parenting or repeating your parents' mistakes, even though you hated them as a child. There are so many things that we are doing. I welcome you once again. If you are joining in, I welcome you. I see, yeah, we have some parents joining now, and I welcome you all. So my name is Ekia Safo. Ha, I didn't even mention my name. My name is Ekia Safo. I am the co-founder of Peak Parents Academy, and Peak Parents Academy is an academy that helps, parents with the right skills and strategies to raise a child, okay, to become wholesome, to become responsible. And I just posted something on my status that, it's most of the times as parents, we are always praying for our children, for God to give them opportunities. God, we pray for I'm so sorry. I had network issues, and I had to fix it right now. So I'm so sorry about that. I had a few issues with the network. Please hold on. Okay, so as I was saying, most of the times we okay, Sarah says she can hear me. Okay, all right. Thank you so much for confirming for us. So most of the times we, want to we pray to God to give us to give let good things happen to our children, to give our children opportunities, and all of the prayers that we pray for our children. They are good, but most of the times we go like we our children, we focus so much on God giving good things to our children. We don't rather focus on building our children to have good character, so that even when the opportunities come, our children will be able to handle those opportunities so that they don't mess it up. Most children have had have actually paid when that what pet parents we are about. We are here to help parents, okay, raise children with good characters, raise children, not just obedient children, not just children who will just obey you, but children who will also, become responsible, become wholesome, so that we can all build a great Africa. So today we are going to look at why, okay, we keep repeating our parents' mistakes, even though we hated them as children. There are so many things we didn't like. We hated them. And we are going to bring this session is actually going to be brought to you by Onyi, my friend. She's a psychologist, and she helps, people who have been through trauma, that they haven't been able to heal. And we are waiting for her. She hasn't joined yet. Okay, she's here. So without talking much, let me just bring her here so that we can have today's session. And then I will say what I want to say at the end of the session. So I welcome you all once again, and let's have her on the screen. Yeah, hello, sis.
Hello, sis. Thank you.
Yeah, so
thank you. Thank
I've already
you.
introduced you. We can just start now. We can start now.
All right. Thank you. So it's an opportunity to be here once again, and I welcome you all to this beautiful class, right? So today we'll be talking about, you are not your parents, but you keep repeating their mistakes. Okay, let me put it like this. We are not our parents, but we find ourselves repeating the mistakes they did, all right, while raising us, okay? And I don't know about you, but I've been there. Yes. I remember when I started having kids, I told myself, oh, all these things that were done to me that I cannot can you all hear me? Can I be heard? Okay, so
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
all right, okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay, so we all have been there, and I know I've talked to a lot of parents. Some of my clients who are parents who have, who said that they told themselves, they promised themselves, they swore not to raise their kids the way they were raised, not to do the things, that hurt them as children to their own children. But they find themselves doing it. Now, one said that when her child does something, she will be hitting the child. As she's hitting the child, she will be crying. Have you seen that before? Have you heard of that before? As she's flogging that child, she's crying. So I asked, why? Because you believe that you're disciplining the child, yet you're crying. Why? She says that she knows that it is not right, okay? Yet she doesn't know how to stop. She doesn't know what to do, all right? How to another means or another approach. She's just doing what she knows how to do. Okay, now many of us are in that situation, or many of us have been in that situation, like myself. Now that's what we call repetition compulsion. What's it all about? It's the tendency to repeat the familiar patterns we were used to as children. You see yourself doing what you learn because we have all those patterns have been ingrained, deeply ingrained in us. So that's why we see ourselves doing what we have sworn. I love using that word, sworn not to do. What we have promised ourselves not to do. We see ourselves doing it to our children. Okay. Now, every child, as we are growing as children, we grow up observing, we grow up absorbing, right? Like a sponge for washing dishes. Like you'll be seeing the sponge, it doesn't change form at the initial stage except you squeeze it, right? So you see the sponge, it has already absorbed water, but it's still in that till you start using it, till it starts, performing the work, right? Washing the dishes. That's when you will see it will start to perform, bring out some characteristics like bringing out that soap that you have added to it. That's the way children are. right? Children grow up internalizing. So we observe. What do we observe? The people around us, the things around us, the situations happening around us, right? The people we are surrounded with, we observe what they do as children, right? If you have not done that, I believe you have, well, you must have seen some videos, on the internet, children mimicking their parents. They observe, they see what you do. Even animals do that, right? Not to talk of children. So they observe, they absorb, they take it in. And the thing with absorbing is that we do it. There are some we do consciously. There are some we do unconsciously. We take in everything, both good and bad, whether they are helpful or they are destructive. We take in everything that we find around us. Okay, now we internalize whatever we see. We we ingrain them. It's natural. Okay. Now, what do we observe? What do we, observe? We observe the behaviors of the people around us. We observe and internalize their beliefs, the way they handle their emotions, their emotional patterns. So, be it our parents, our caregivers, our teachers, whoever, our nannies, whoever that we stay with constantly. So now, let's say if if you have a mother who the way she reacts to things is just to avoid herself, you know, distance herself from that thing. She wouldn't speak out, okay, this is what. She wouldn't speak out, this is the way I'm feeling, this is what's going on. She just keeps silent. You're learning from your mother. If you have a father who, at any slightest opportunity, he raises his voice, it is the same thing. We are learning, we are observing, we are internalizing, we are absorbing whatever they are showing us. If we have parents who neglected our emotional needs, and you tell yourself, oh, I am not going to show, I am going to be there for my children. No, it takes a conscious effort and self awareness for you to know that I have to intentionally do this because you have identified it, right? Okay, sometimes you say, okay, that the life I will create, I will not want it to be, to be touched by the life I lived in the past, right? You see the environment you grew up in, and you tell yourself, you see these things that have happened, these things that have happened in my family, with my parents, with my siblings, whatever. If I'm raising a family, if I build my family, none of this will come to fruition. Yet we find ourselves being and doing the same thing all together. These are repetition compulsion. Okay. But the truth is that we are not our parents. Yes, we are not our parents, and our children will never be us. All right. But if we don't heal, if we don't become self-aware of all these things that are not serving us, that are of disservice to us, the thing is that we will unconsciously replay those patterns. If we don't, if we don't consciously identify them, if we don't become aware of all these patterns, of these behaviors, these attitudes, we will unconsciously play them out. So, what are these? How does our parent behavior influence us? Like I said earlier, children are like sponges. Children, I just want you to have that mental image of a sponge, a foam. Let me use that, a foam that you'll be pouring water on. The foam will be there. You pour the water, it will absorb it, right? You You put in your liquid soap, even if it's not liquid soap, even if it's tablet soap, right? You rub it, tablet soap, and this is the sponge. You rub it. Now, in the process of rubbing it, maybe the foam will be changed. And once you're done and you drop it, the foam, comes back to its natural state, right? Till you begin to use it. That's how the children are in their formative years. That's what happens. And it's not just what we say. They do not only absorb, they do not take in what we say. They take in the words we do not say. And how, if we don't say them, how do we express them? By our behaviors, by our actions. So you come into a household and you see that the only way they resolve conflict is by yelling, raising their voices. The father and the mother are raising their voices towards each other. The children are there looking at them. They are taking it in. You come into a household, and the only way to correct a child is by hitting the child. They'll be like, okay, that's it. That's the pattern. That's how we do it, right? There's this what skits? Will I call it skits? All these comedy skits, yes. So the lady, she got married newly. I'm trying to explain the video. She got married and had her child, and the mother came for to help out with the newborn baby. In my place, we call it omogo, right? So the mother comes to help her daughter with the newborn baby. So in that skit, the mother, that's the grandma to the baby. The mother brings out uh, um, bathroom slippers, right? The Dunlop slippers we wear around in the home, and gives it to the daughter. The daughter takes it and say, "Thank you, mommy." She brings the long broom for sweeping, and gives it to the daughter. The daughter collects, and says, "Thank you, mommy." She gets the broom, right, for sweeping. Those uh, 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 those brooms made with palm fronds, right? What? So when you go to the comment section, people were like, "Oh no, you forgot the turning gari, right? That stick for turning fufu and all that." Some would be like, "Oh, you forgot the belt." Some would be like, "Oh, you forgot the cane." Right? A lot of people were bringing up what they were raised with, how they were raised with, what their parents used on them while they are growing up as a form of correction. And people were laughing in the comment section. But when you look at it, you will know that this is not normal. Now, in the video, the baby there, they used all this AI stuff too. So I think the woman played the baby part, but they used the baby face. So the baby raised its head to see what the grandma was passing on to her mother. All right, so it's her patterns. And I kid you not, this is what the grandma learned from her mother, the great grandma. So she believes, okay, that the easiest way to do this, and for the daughter to collect those items from her, means, okay, it's continuous. But I ask, is this supposed to be so? Is it supposed to be so? So when we come to that place of awareness, when we know that these have not been serving us, what do? We will get there later, right? So let's continue. Now, our parents' behavior, their behaviors are the first thing we see that they are the first model They serve as the first model in our lives. How we respond to life, how we handle conflict, how we manage, our emotions, how we relate to others. You see someone and you be like, no, I don't like this person and I don't think you start avoiding the person. And you don't want to address the issue, whatever the person did that made you angry. No, you won't address it. You just cut the person off. Now the person calls you up. Why? We've not been talking like we used to. I have not heard from you. You avoid me. Oh no, no, nothing. I just want to be on my own. Oh no, it's nothing. I just want to, I just want to stay on my own. And the thing is that we go ahead when I'll still talk about it. Creating boundaries is not just about there's something called healthy boundaries, right? So in the process of healing and becoming self-aware, you get to know if the boundary you're creating, if they are healthy, if they are serving you and serving others, that's when it's healthy. If they are serving you and they are serving others, that's when it's healthy. But if they are not serving you, because what most of the time is we don't want to sit down and assess. We act on impulse. We don't want to sit down and assess what's going on in our lives, to look at the patterns in our lives and know what is really going on. If there are changes that need to be made. So when we grow up and our parents as the first model, we learn from them how to, how to see this life. It's from their own lens that we get to, see life first. And most times we trust that so much that we do not even have a mind of our own. So what we see them do, we copy and we run with it. We don't know how to handle conflict. These are unresolved trauma that we tend to take as our that it's in our DNA, that's our makeup, right? We don't know how to manage our emotions. We don't know how to, relate to others. These are the things. So when we see our parents, when they cope with stress, and the only way they know is maybe by yelling, right? Transferring the aggression to you because they are stressed, they are so angry, they tend to avoid the children or their spouses. We pick them up. So when we are married and we have, some disagreements or some, a little conflict with our spouses, we avoid them. We keep mute. We don't discuss it. We numb our emotions. Our children are seeing us and they are learning from that, right? So one day I picked up my child from school, my last child, and we were talking about what went on in school, and he was like, "Mommy, you can't imagine what went on in school today." I was like, "Oh yeah, just me." He said that a parent, I don't know what the child did in school, so they invited the mother. Yes, the mother came, and as they were telling the mother what the son did, so when they were done, the mother turned to the child to ask what's going on, why all these things they're saying, what's going on. The boy jumped on the mother, tore her clothes in school. I'm not telling you, I'm not kidding you. Tore his mother's clothes out of anger. Okay, now you ask, oh, where did this? Because one, the mother will be in shock. So it's possible that this child is in fourth grade, right? So it's possible that the boy sees this happening in at home, Maybe he learned it from the father or even the mother, while the mother will be handling the maybe the household, the, the house helps, right, or the security man, or people under her, or even her children. The boy must have learned it from somewhere, and it won't be far from the parents. So my boy was so surprised, like Jesus, the mommy that you see the shock in school, in school. So a boy in fourth grade should be around, let's say, 8 years, 8, 9 years, 7, 8 years, right? Yes. So these are the things our parents, the parents, not just our parents, we as parents, we are the first role models these children are seeing. So whatever we have, we are transferring it to them. So if they don't learn from us, they're learning from the people, the caretakers, the people that we 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 live them with every day, every day. So these are the questions we need to ask ourselves. What is going on? You see someone who grew up without getting enough love. The parents were not consistent with showing love to this child. When that person grows into an adult, what will be the person will want to will want to get that love, would want to feel worthy. And it doesn't matter what the person does, just for him or her to get that love. That's why we see a lot of young people being in a relationship they're not supposed to be with someone that they're not supposed to be with, because they're longing for it. They're longing for it. So when that person gets married to someone, they don't know how to give that love, because they will still be inconsistent with that, showing love to their children. And the cycle continues. So, parental influence is so subtle. Parental influence is subtle, but it can be damaging. It can be subtle, it can be subconscious and damaging, right? So when we take decisions, when we react, how do we do it? Where do we learn that from? Let us be mindful. That's the word. We have to be mindful, we have to be intentional. If we really mean that we do not want to repeat the mistakes, we do not want to repeat the mistakes of our parents, we have to be mindful, we have to be intentional about it. All right. So when we see adults who have gone through this, we see ourselves being codependent. We see ourselves self-sabotaging ourselves. We do not believe in ourselves. We want to be people pleasers. We want to be people pleasers. We don't want to do anything. We want to get validation from others before we move ahead to do things, because we did not get validated as children. We were always, we were always compared with other children. So these are signs of unresolved trauma. When you see yourself, you're not happy with what you're doing, what do you do? What do you do? All right? What do we do? Because the thing is that if when we see ourselves doing all these things, it is not because we lack the willpower. Trauma is so destructive. I wish people would understand that. Trauma, unresolved trauma, is destructive. Unresolved trauma can blind someone for years. It can obstruct your view not to see the damages it's doing. Unresolved trauma can clip your wings. And when all these things happen, we tend to call village people. We want to blame it, put that blame on somebody else. It is not because we don't know, we don't want to. It is not because we are not intelligent enough to change all these things, but it is because we have not come to that point of knowing that this can be unresolved trauma dealing with me. Because remember, I said that all these things, they are being ingrained. We have observed them, we have taken them in, we have internalized them. So they are being stored. They are being stored so that when we need them, the brain will just bring them up. It's not because you're unintelligent. No, it's not because you don't have the willpower to do that. It is because we have been crippled unknowingly by these things, right? And the thing is that we don't believe that these things that we have been okay, we don't believe that these things, that we are being held down by them. I've been in this field and you meet someone and the person is talking to you, oh, this is it, that this is now when you tell the person, okay, let's go way back, because that's how I work. It's not just the surface thing, right? It's not just the surface thing. You say, okay, let us go back. Let us go back. Say, no, just leave it. No, man, it is not. I'm telling you, it is not about I had a blissful childhood experience. My growing up was, it was this, it was that. My parents, I'll be like, that's fine. I'm not arguing it, right? It's not up for a debate. That's fine, but just can you allow me do this thing my way? Now, when we go back, I'll point those things out, things that happened and the things that did not happen, right? Things that were supposed to happen, but they did not happen. So, things that happened, right? Okay. Things that were supposed to happen, but they did not happen, they also affect us. So, you see the person deny. No, even when they are caught in that web of denial, no, 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 no. But the thing is that when the consequences come up, you cannot deny them. But the thing is that even when the consequences come up, for some people, they blame the other person because, like, if someone has, experiences a failed marriage, most times it's not just the fault of one person. Mm-mm. It's not just the fault of one, maybe the man or the woman. When you sit down to analyze it, to tell the person, you will see that there are some things that you did that propelled, that prompted, that triggered what the other person's behavior. So when we see things like failed relationships, somebody being anxious all the time, persistently, because anxiety, when we say, oh, they say, no, 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 it's not. Anxiety doesn't just come like that. These are signs of unresolved trauma. Or you see someone feeling, having this deep sense of unfulfillment. It's not normal, right? You're not fulfilled. There is something missing, and there something caused that to happen. Something caused that vacuum to be there, right? So, what do we do? If you want to break free from this, unconscious, you know, repetition of how things have been, How do we do that? Like I said earlier, it's just being conscious of what's going on in your life, becoming self-aware. That's the first step. You become self-aware of what is going on. We sit down. Sit down. Let us not be on a fast lane all the time, right? Let us not be on the fast lane all the time. Let us at some point keep still, be put. So like I said last week, journaling it does a whole lot. Sit still. Now, what are the things that are happening in my life that I don't like? Okay, so this happened, and this is the way I felt when it happened. You leave it. Now, another thing, so and so happened. What was the cause? What really happened? You go through whatever that happened. Maybe you had an altercation with somebody. You write it down from first, all the steps, what happened, what the person said to you, what you said to the person, how you reacted, what you said to the person that made the person react the way he or she did, right? My action, what did I do, right? Did someone try to hold me back and I refused? Things like this, they matter. See, we are created to relate with others. Nobody was created to be an islander, right? We are created to mix up, to relate with each other. That's why God told Adam and Eve to multiply. If not, he will just have Adam and Eve there in the garden and be fellowshipping with them, right? So when we look at relationships, I will say, oh no, I don't. Yes, I'm not saying that we should be friends with everybody. The thing is that look at people, who and who, right? Who and who? Am I okay with this person? Does our values align? Yes. Now remember, whoever your bestie is, right? Your friends are. Check their values and yours. Now, it must not be all rosy and all well every day. You're okay, you don't come to the point of disagreeing and all that. There must be disagreements. But how do we handle those disagreements? Maybe you raise up an issue and the person doesn't believe or accept your own decision or your point of view. You tell the person, oh no, you don't I don't know the reason why I'm having you as a friend if you cannot, take sides with me. And like that, you cut off the relationship because the person doesn't agree with you. We are meant to relate. When we go to our business partners, we need relationships in our lives. But when you see people, oh no, my children are my best friends, I'm okay with my children, I am friends with my children. I used to be that way, for real. I'm okay with my children, as long as I have my children, I don't need any, no be so, no. Till I healed, I understood what it means to have people, to keep relationships, right? So when we become aware, notice those behaviors that don't align with your values, put them down. Then we go to acknowledging it. That's the another important thing. Acknowledge it. Tell yourself, you see this thing, I accept. Yes, I'm wrong. You see this thing? Yes, I do it and it's not good. Oh no, the way I talk to people. At some point I made my daughter, do that. She realized that the way she treats her friends, the way she reacts to things, the way she speaks to them, hurts them. So as she was writing her goal, she put it down that she would change the way she reacts to them or speak to them. So we acknowledge it, we accept, oh no, I'm wrong in this place, right? And how do we do that? You can do it by being mindful, mindfulness. Heal that inner child work. Do things that will bring the unconscious to the conscious, right? Find out those things that when I do, it reminds you. Now, the another important thing, I don't want to say the most important. I don't want to use that because all of them are important. One of the most important one is also having self-compassion because this has, you know, hurt a lot of people. Shaming oneself, you are the one shaming yourself, self-sabotaging. Don't blame, stop blaming yourself. Stop blaming yourself that you're not. Stop the blame game, right? Look for solutions. What do I do? Okay, yes, this thing is like this. Yes, okay. So, what's the go ahead? What's the way forward? Because when you continue to blame yourself, you don't do anything but you shame. It brings shame. Okay. Now we talk of healthy boundaries. Now, when you create emotional distance from people who reinforce those triggers, when you create emotional distance, that's sort of healthy boundary. It's not when you cut off ties with everybody. It's not when you cut off ties with, no, I don't want anybody. I don't want anybody around me. I'm okay with myself. I'm a lonely person. Oh. I like to be on my own. I like to my space. My space. I want it like that. No, creating healthy boundaries, protecting your peace and honoring your path. Yeah, because at some point when I wanted to create when I created my own healthy boundaries, I had to tell my father, you see this, it's not like if he calls me now, I call him, we talk, but there's a limit. Because what happened was when I was healing, if he calls me, you see this anger boils up and everything. No. But when I learned better, right? When I healed, I had to create that. You see that you see here on my Facebook, there are some places, limits you will get to. I'm protecting my space. That doesn't mean I can't pick up my phone and call him, we talk and even while talking, there are some things he will bring up. I'll tell him, Daddy, no, you see this discussion. Let us just Yes, yes, some people do. I do not have friends. I used to be there. I used to be there, right? So I tell my dad, you see this topic you're about to raise. We are not going to talk about it. I'm not in the right frame of mind to talk about this, right? So you have to drop it. This is the reason why I called, right? So this is what we are going to do. You see the way I diverted. You see the way I've already blocked. I'm not cutting him off. I'm not cutting him off. The call is still on. We are still talking. I'm calm, right? But because the topic he raised would mess up with my mental, space. No, I'm in charge, right? I'm in charge of my mental health, my mental space. I'm in charge. I'm in control, right? My emotional intelligence, my emotional, I'm in charge. You do not tell me how to handle it. You do not bring up what will mess up with it. So the call is still on. I tell him, no, no, this is This is the boundary. This is where it ends. I won't take this. No, it is not it. Right? And the thing is that the person will respect it. Try it. Don't raise your voice. Don't go, "Ah, no, no, yeah, yeah, ah, yeah." No. Calmly tell the person, okay, see, you see this discussion, you see this place is going to. No, I don't think um, we will do this. I won't indulge you, right? I won't indulge you. So why don't we talk about so and so? Okay. Now you can raise that issue up next time, because maybe it's possible that at that point you're not in that mood, you're not in that right frame of mind to handle that. It happens that you're healing from trauma doesn't mean that you become cool, calculated all the time. So maybe you're not in that space to handle that topic at that point in time. You pause it. So when you regain, when you strategize, when you are in that mood, you can raise it up the next time. Say, okay, the other time you spoke about this, okay, this is why it happened. This is the way I want it to happen. This is the reason why I did what I did. You address it and, it goes on. So healthy boundaries doesn't mean cutting off ties with people. There are some people you need to cut off ties with. Yes, if they're not serving you, if you think you looked at it and it's not working, then okay, you mustn't be with everybody, but choose your people. Okay, so because you're protecting your peace, you're honoring your past. That's what it's all about. It's all about you. Wow, it's all about you, baby. Yeah. And the next thing is you reparent yourself. Oh my goodness. Believe me, when you reparent yourself, now you're the parent and you are the baby. Hmm. You're giving yourself that love. Hmm. Baby, do you want ice cream? Yes, mommy. You get the ice cream. Baby, do you want to go for swimming? Yes, mommy. Ah, you're off. Baby, do you want to go to spa? Yes, mommy, I would love to. You're off. Plan yourself. Give yourself that thing you did not get as a child that you've longed for. When you make mistakes, do not beat up yourself. You tell yourself, oh, it's a mistake. Okay, I've made this mistake, so it's a mistake. So what do I do? You strategize. Do not beat up yourself. Show yourself that love. Show yourself that care. You see that guidance you did not get to do it to yourself. Are there things that I'm doing that I do not like, that are not serving me? Are there things that I'm eating that are not helpful, to my system? I need to drop them. You're guiding yourself. What are the courses that I need to take? The skills that I need to take so that I can move forward, so that I can become a better person. You enroll. If you love to swim, like growing up as a child, I did not learn how to. I did not even ride a bicycle, right? I did not. I had no bicycle, not to talk of learning how to drive. And it's not because my father couldn't afford that, but things happen, right? So when I got married, started the first thing when our first, okay, what happens is that when our children, once they clock one, my husband will buy a bicycle. I was so amazed. Wow, he will buy. That's the first present he will get for that baby. Okay, so he will start teaching that child how to ride a bicycle. So when they grew up, I have two teenagers and a preteen. When they learned that I do not know how to ride a bicycle, they were like, what happened? This is the first thing a child learns. I said, okay, be coming down. I will learn. So they are teaching me. I want to learn how to ride a bicycle. I'm learning. I'm not ashamed. If I'm ashamed, I wouldn't have said it here. I want to learn how to swim. I've been going for swimming lessons. I'm trying, no. I'm trying, but that's what I want to do, right? I'm guiding myself. You see this thing that you're doing, it's not okay for you. I stop. You see this thing you're eating, it's not. I stop. I'm guiding myself. I'm loving myself. I'm taking care of myself. Reparent yourself. Tell yourself what you love to hear, right? When you do these things, you're nurturing your inner child. That child that's hurting, that's where you're getting at. Hmm? When you do these things, you're healing that baby that's in an adult's body. That's what you're doing. You're loving yourself, and it's not a crime. It's not a crime to love yourself. It's not a crime. Yes, please do reparent yourself, love yourself, give yourself that care. If you feel okay that you need to exercise, that when you look in the mirror, the way you look, it's so you love it, continue exercising, continue going to that gym, continue with your morning walks, right? Continue eating right. You look at yourself, you love what you're seeing, keep it up, okay? I want you all to remember that you're a unique individual. You're a unique individual with the power to create a different story. You mustn't leave the story your parents, laid out for you. No, you have the power to create your own. Create it. It's not a crime. Eh? And please confront the past. You're not trying to relieve the moment. No, when you confront the past, you're not reliving the moment. You're just trying to deal with the root cause. It's just a phase. When you're done dealing with them, you move on. And that's in the past. So confront it, right? Confront your past. Confront your past. Stop running away. Stop trying to run away from things that will remind you. Yes, it will remind you, but you want to deal with it. You want to deal. That's what healing is. You deal with it so that you don't make the mistakes your parents made. Right? Deal with it, because if you don't, you'll be trapped with it. If you don't confront your past, you'll be trapped. If you like, deny from now till the time, what will happen will happen. The things that will show up, right? So please, if you really know that yes, you're not your parent, but and you don't want to make the mistakes they've made, and you are seeing those mistakes being played out, it's a pattern. Just break it, break the cycle for your baby's um 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 uh, you know for your babies, for them to live right. Because sometimes you, yes, you're a unique being. Sometimes my children will tell me, Mommy, thank you for healing from your trauma. Yes, they tell me that. Thank you. They always say, thank you for not allowing us to go through what you went through. When I tell them my stories, they hear my stories. When I tell them my stories, they'll tell me, Mommy, thank you for not allowing us to go through what you went through. And it's a huge blessing. So please let us make that conscious effort to heal from our unresolved trauma and see the way your life will change. That's the fact. That's the truth. Right? So thank you for this opportunity, and thank you for listening to me.
All right. Thank you so much, sis. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed
Mm,
this session. I really enjoyed this
I'm
session.
glad.
And
Thank
one thing
you.
that I took from this session is that you are a unique individual with the power to create your own story. Whatever has
Yes.
happened in the past is gone. Focus on yourself
Mm-hmm.
now. Heal from your
Mm-hmm.
traumas, from your wounds, and begin to reparent yourself. Love your kids. Whatever
Exactly.
they do any mistakes, I mean, you need to calm down. It is nothing so serious that you need to resolve now, now,
Serious.
now. Take your
Yes.
time. Take your time
Yeah.
and everything will be fine. Thank you so much, sis.
Yes.
I really, really,
My
really am grateful
pleasure.
to you
My
for
pleasure.
honoring us. And I hope to see you again next week as we come along with
I
another
go
beautiful
nowhere.
session. Okay.
I go
Thank you
nowhere.
so much. Thank you so much. And
You're
enjoy the
welcome.
rest of
You're
the day.
welcome.
Enjoy the rest of the
You
day.
too, sis. You
All
too.
right. All right.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. All right. I thank you all for joining. If you are catching replay, if you have any questions you want to ask, you can leave them in the comment section and we will answer that for you. Healing takes time. Healing takes time. We've all been through it. We all had, one thing or the other going on when we were kids. There are things our parents did that we didn't like, but of course they did it. They knew they did what they knew was better. Okay, but in this age we can do better. We can do a lot of things right because we have the resources. There are so many information. There are so many things that we can learn to begin to correct the mistakes that our parents did. When my friend was talking, she mentioned something like she mentioned something, and I was like, yes, there is no smoke. Some people will tell you that, oh, I'm okay, I'm fine, nothing happened to me, like I had a blissful childhood and all of that. There are certain things you may didn't have in your childhood, and sometimes you will react in certain ways. It tells you that no, there is something, like something is causing this particular reaction. There is no fire, or there's no smoke without fire. Whatever goes on, whatever, however you react, when your child does something, when your child is crying, you go like, why are you crying? You are so angry. It is something is causing that thing. Whenever you have issues with people, you don't want to confront it. You lack the ability to create boundaries, healthy boundaries. You are always, all of those things, even the way some people eat, they are all as a result of traumas. Some people bleach their skin. They are all, when you dig deeper, you will see that it's as a result of a childhood trauma that hasn't been healed. So trauma affects us like in every aspect of our lives. If we don't heal, if we avoid these things, if we fail to handle, to face them and heal from them, we are never going to raise trauma-free children. And that pattern, okay, will continue from generation to generation. But I always tell myself that I will end the generational curse, the generational trauma. It must end, and then a whole new generation must come out from me. So if your parents, your parents did things wrong, starting from you, you can begin to tell yourself that no, this thing is going to end here. There are some patterns that you can trace them back. Notice those patterns and tell yourself that this is going to be the end. I am going to raise a generation free from trauma. Tell yourself it is possible. It is possible. Thank you so much for joining. If you want to know more, okay, it doesn't just end here. These sessions that we are bringing you, they are just tips and hacks. Someone told me that, how do I become an effective parent? And I was like, to become an effective parent, there are lots of things you need to work on. You don't just only focus on one aspect. You need to work on your emotions. You need to heal from your traumas. You need to learn how to connect with your child. You need to understand yourself. You need to be self-aware. You need to understand the child that you are raising. There are so many aspects that you need to work on to be able to become an effective parent. Most of the times as parents, we want to talk about the problems. We are talking about the problems. My child is this, my child is that, and all of the things that we say. But I tell you, whenever there is an opportunity, okay, to really work on ourselves, to really do the work, then we begin to go like, no, I can't do it. I don't have the time. No, you have the time. You are only running away from something that will stretch you, from something that will make you, will stretch you, will challenge you to become the best version of yourself. So once we accept that we want to, this is something we want to do, then we must be willing, okay, to go through the process to become that parent that our children, need, that parent that our children deserve to have. It's not just about, learning one thing and then telling yourself you are a better parent now. No, it's a process, and you need to work in all these aspects to be able to become the parent that your child deserves. So thank you so much. Next week, we are going to bring another session, and we are going to actually do a course. It's either going to be on the second week of April or either on the third week, okay, of April. So we will share all details from maybe tomorrow. We are going to share all details of the course. Do not take it for granted. If there is nothing at all, even your parents, okay, you're not going to do anything at all. You tell yourself, okay, I'm not going to do anything at all. There are some two things that you really need to take seriously. If you will not take any other thing serious, take your healing journey very serious, and then work on your emotions. These two things are very, very, very important. You need to work on your emotions, because your children are going to do things that will make you, life is even going to present you with so many challenges that if you are not emotionally aware, you will break down. So you need to work on your emotions. You need to heal from your unresolved traumas. The traumas, the things that happened to you, they are not your fault. They are not your fault. You just happen to, come meet them, face them. So it is, but if you don't heal from them, that is when it is your fault, because you have the opportunity to heal from these traumas. You have it. It's a choice. You need to choose healing. You need to choose healing. So if you do not do it, it's your fault. But it's not your fault that you went through the traumas. But healing from it, you have the choice to choose to heal from all the traumas, so that you can be free and raise your child to become wholesome, to become responsible. Because yes, we need it. We need it. We need it. Thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate you. I honor you. In fact, I don't take you for granted, though, having the time being with us throughout. It's been an hour and you've been here. I so much appreciate you. Now you want to share, you can share the same link to other parents, your friends, your family, so that they can also catch replay of this. We all need to hear this message. We all need to heal from our wounds. It's very, very important. Whether you are married, whether you have kids, whether you are single, whatever your situation is, you need to heal. Healing is very, very important. It's something that we all need to do. So the details of the healing course will be shared tomorrow, and you can share the link as I have said. If you haven't subscribed to this channel too, you want to hit the subscribe button, hit subscribe to our channel. There are lots of things we are going to, there are so many things we have to learn, and we will be learning on this journey. So thank you so much, and see you next week. Enjoy the rest of the day. Bye.